Welcome to a new season of The Profile.
We are ready to go.
Where your milestones will be x-rayed and revisited.
Yes.
Your experiences growing up, academics, social and community development landmarks, and challenges will be scanned. The Profile, where your leadership belief in both the private and public sector will be looked into without the optics of partisan politics. The all-new season of The Profile, exclusive to Search FM 92.3.
A very good morning to you. You're locked on to the Dial of Champions 92.3 Search FM. It's another Saturday morning, 14 minutes past the top of the hour, 10 a.m. and you are welcome to another edition of The Profile of the second season. My name is Odaba Akoji and I'll be your host for today. As always on The Profile, I will be taking a look at the world through the eyes and ears of someone who has lived quite a while now and has quite a bit of experience to share with us. On the show today, I have Mr. Nmadu Sule. He was born in Sokoto. I'm just going to run through a bit of his profile so that we know who we're dealing with here before we get into the interaction proper today. So we have Mr. Nmadu Sule right here with us at the MBB House. He was born in Sokoto in March of 1955. He is from Niger State right here. Started his educational career in St. John's Primary School, Bidda, from where he proceeded to the Government College Sokoto and then went on to the Nmadu Bello University Zaria and then the Kent State University, Ohio, United States of America. He went on to start his career as a court registrar in 1978 and proceeded through the ranks until he ended up as the Director Administration for the High Court of Justice right here in Minna. And so that's who we will be having an interaction with this beautiful Saturday morning. Thank you so much for joining us. You're welcome to The Profile.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's just get right into the interaction. What can you tell us about your formative years when you were growing up and what that experience was like? This is before you started school, your earliest memories.
As far back as 1961, I started my primary education in Sokoto, where I was born. Actually, I started off from the Roman Catholic primary school. After a few years, due to proximity and distance, we had to move off from where we were living to another area, and my father transferred us to St. Paul's Anglican Primary School in Sokoto. But after the coup of 1966, maybe for security reasons, I don't know, my father decided that myself and my younger sister should go and continue our education at St. John's Anglican Primary School in Bidda. I finished there in 1968. But interesting enough, I was posted back to Sokoto again, to Government College Sokoto, which was quite interesting because I had already spent some of my formative years in Sokoto. I was used to the environment. It was not new to me. And the schools we attended, the primary schools, were schools that had a national outfit because you had people from Sokoto, people from Kaduna, people from Lagos. We were all over the country and we were one. There was no discrimination. Life was quite interesting at that time. In 1973, we were actually the first set to change the school year because usually we resume in January, but this time we finished in June and the school year changed to September. So I finished Government College Sokoto September 1973. After some break, I went to Nmadu Bello University for a diploma course in law. And after the diploma course in 1978, I started my work with the Niger State Judiciary as an assistant registrar. Okay,
before we go forward now, what can you tell us about what drew your interest to studying law, to getting your diploma in law?
This is quite interesting. You see, when I was in the primary school, my father loved buying newspapers. And when I went to Bida, the auntie we were living with them also liked newspapers. So my first choice, of course, actually was not law. But at the time I finished secondary school, the first opening that came to me was the diploma course in law. But my choices, of course, are number 1, political science, number 2, mass comm, and the third was law. Whichever I got out of the 3, I was okay. But diploma in law came first, and I went for it. After the diploma in law, I was lucky because when I got a degree in an admission into Kent State University in political science, I had a friend over there in the US who encouraged me and got me the admission. So when I went to read political science and international relations, it was not a departure from what I wanted to read. But when after my degree, 1982, a master's degree, 1983, I came back to Nigeria and had to go for my NYC in Kwara State with the LOAB security outfit. After that, I reported back to the judiciary again. I had the option of either going into the mainstream of administration or remaining in the judiciary registrar's cadre. But I had some friends that I read the diploma course with together with in Zaria. They motivated me to remain in the judiciary. People like retired Justice Musta Abdul, who were classmates in Zaria. People like late Justice Moman Kolo, who were classmates in Zaria. And a few of them, people like Honorable Justice Wambai, who is now a Justice of the Court of Appeal. So I remained in the judiciary. While they built in their career in the legal profession, I remained in the administrative cadre. And it was quite an experience working in the judiciary and not being a lawyer like them.
No, I was going to get to that because really it's really interesting the fact that you went through practically your entire career in the judiciary without being an actual lawyer. But let's just backtrack a little bit. You said you served in Kwara State. Now, you must have met a lot of people from different parts of the country. Was there any culture shock? I mean, you had spent most of your years before then in Sokoto, in Niger State, outside the country as well. So what was it like serving in Ilorin, in Kwara rather, at that time?
When we were in Sokoto and even in Bidda, Ilorin is predominantly Yorubas. We mixed with Yoruba. In fact, we spoke Yoruba and we still speak it. So you can see it was not a shock as such. I met a few friends there quite okay, and then I tried to assimilate myself, but I did not have that type of shock that one would feel he's in a totally strange environment. There was nothing like that, because already from the time we were in the primary school, we mixed with Igbos and we mixed with Yorubas. Indeed, we spoke Yoruba with me and my siblings, and a little bit of Igbo language.
Okay, so just as an aside, how many languages do you speak?
I speak Yoruba, to start with that. I speak Nupe, I speak Hausa, and of course the medium of instruction, I speak English.
Yeah, that's awesome, sir. Okay, so heading back to your career now, you had a background in law, of course. Yes. But your degree, your first degree and your master's degree were in political science.
Yes.
Now, did that in any way help, or was it a barrier in your career? That's talking about settling into the judiciary, working your way in judiciary or up in the judiciary.
Honestly speaking, you don't have to be a lawyer to be in administration. You don't have to be. There are lawyers that are administrators and there are people in political science. Administration is not confined. It's not like the legal profession. Anybody cannot be a lawyer. But anybody can go into administration. Doctors are in administration, lawyers and engineers. See, permanent secretaries, some are engineers, some are lawyers, some are doctors. Unlike, it doesn't go the other way around. An admin officer can't go and become a doctor. You have to go and read it. But even with experience, you can be a good admin officer, and then with the training on the job, once you have the background or habit of having a good university degree.
Okay, so what?
The only difference is that, but when you are doing administration in the judiciary, you now know that your constituency has changed. You are working with high court judges, you are working with Sharia judges, you are working with magistrates. You have to understand their psychology. You are not working with permanent secretaries or commissioners. But I had the advantage, I had a little background in law, so sometimes I can understand what they are saying.
Okay, sir. So, what are some of the lessons you learned during the span of your career? Like you said, you interacted with quite a specific type of people. That's specifically talking about people in the legal profession who are judges and magistrates and all of that. So, what lessons did you learn from these interactions, both with your superiors and the people who worked under you, that helped to guide you through your career? Basically, I'm asking what the principles you worked by were.
When you work in the judiciary, you have to be very careful. You have to be very cautious. You are working with people that are always fighting corruption. You are working with people that want you to be steadfast. You are working with people who want you to be patient, listening to what their needs are. When you have this, and you are working with people who are principled, because the judiciary is an enclave of its own. The judiciary is an institution that's independent. They conduct themselves in a different way. When you are with them, you try to study their psychology, and that was all I did. Because I had a diploma in law, I also had a background of a degree in political science, but I also had friends who were lawyers. Some are magistrates, some are practicing. And when you work with judges of the High Court, you have to be sure of what you are doing. A judge in the High Court is not somebody you just go and sit down and talk with anyhow. No. You know their needs, you understand the way they want things to be done, and you just look at it carefully, and you have a peaceful relationship.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. We are still on the profile right here on the Dial of Champions, 92.3, with Mr. Solomon Nmadu Sule, retired Director of Administration at the High Court of Justice right here in Minna, Niger State. We'll take a breather now, and we'll be back to get on with this interaction on this second season of the profile.
Introducing the Search Media Foot Minna app. The Search Media app is an all-encompassing app that grants you full access to contents on Search 92.3 FM, Search TV, as well as bypower.ng recording studios. Stream for favorite radio shows 24 hours, 7 days a week from anywhere around the world. Subscribe and follow Search TV for live shows, interviews, and episodes of your favorite shows. The Search Media app gives you access to the Bypower recording studios where you can book our services from audio and video productions, band or solo music recordings, mixing and mastering, voiceovers, independent programs, documentary production, and lots more. Get up-to-date news, announcements, and join our social media platforms with just a click on the Search Media app. You can also check out our interesting features such as how to become a producer, register as an artist, view our programs, get to know our crew members, and how to donate to Search Media. You can also contact us directly via the app through our live studio, call lines, SMS, and WhatsApp to make inquiries about admin and marketing, recording studio, and to give feedback. Download the Search Media Foot Minna app on Android Play Store and iOS now.
29 minutes past 10 a.m. and of course you're still locked on to the Dial of Champions, 92.3 Search FM, reaching you from the Mohammed Badamasi Babangida MBB House on the Gidankwano campus of the Federal University of Technology, Minna. My guest on the profile this week is Mr. Solomon Nmadu Sule, retired Director of Administration, the High Court of Justice right here in Minna, Niger State. Thank you so much for joining us again, sir. Okay, so we just spoke about your career. Let's talk a bit about family now. We've done professional life. Let's touch on your personal life a bit. So, can you tell us about your family and how you were able to balance family life and work during your career?
Well, I didn't find it difficult as such because you have to place your priorities right if you are in office. And what I mean by that is that there's time for everything. My job comes first, but when there's an emergency, my family comes first. I program myself in such a way that I don't allow family matters to interfere with my work because it affects your effectiveness. You know, my children, they go to school. There's an arrangement to take them to school. My wife goes to her own office, and I'm left with my own office to face the office properly as it should be. I didn't have that much problem with my family affecting what I do in the office, except there's an emergency.
Oh, okay, sir. That makes a lot of sense. What would you say your leadership style is like? Because you held a position of leadership, or actually you held different positions of leadership, but ultimately as the director of administration. So what would you say your leadership style is?
First, you must be honest with your people, with your staff. You must be transparent. You have an open door policy. Because if you are director of admin, you are in charge of personnel management. You take care of the day-to-day operation of the office. You implement policies that come from the Judicial Service Commission when it arises. If you are not transparent, if you are not principled, if you are not open-minded, then you will not be able to succeed, because even those who would like to give you some advice and a few other things, they will shy away from you. And you cannot stand as an island. No matter how effective you are, no matter how efficient you are, no matter how hard you work, you have to go along with your staff.
Okay, sir. So let's talk about life after retirement now. What has that been like? Obviously, it was a change of pace, yes. Definitely. So how were you able to adjust to life after retirement, and what's going on right now?
When you are in office, as soon as you realize that time is coming up, when you are in office, you have to think of what would life look like when I retire. If you don't do that, then you are likely to get a shock. I know once I leave my office, no more waking up early in the morning, no more stress, especially mental stress, not to talk of physical stress. Now, as a retired officer of the judiciary, I live a very simple life. I don't overstretch myself again. That is the essence of retirement. You are supposed to slow down, except you have reasons. You slow down and try to take life as it comes. I do some farm work, definitely. I don't sit down idle. I do some farm work when I can. And I just live a very simple life. And I have adopted the principle of the 3 F's: faith, friends, family. My faith in God is paramount. But my friends mean a lot to me. Once in a while, we come together. It's therapy of its own. And my family is very important. I took time off to build a reputation in my family. I took time off to build a reputation in my office. And I took time off to build a reputation among my friends. Now that I'm retired, that's the benefit for me. And I don't find life difficult.
Okay, so talking about relationships that you've built, you obviously are a pillar in your community. So what have you done, or do you, if anything, do you do anything around community development?
In community development, you can't solve all their problems, but you can try to bring them together, oneness, so that they can come together and develop the community. You build a bridge for them. You don't build a wall. If you build a wall, you separate them. But if you build a bridge, they interact. They may have problems that have to do with politics. They may have problems that have to do with agriculture. They may have problems that have to do with health. Wherever you think you can come in there, you do that for them. That is the essence of being a community leader. I won't say I don't do politics, but not partisan politics.
I was going to ask
before
that.
You come there. I know you will ask that. I don't do partisan politics, because if you get to the level where we are now and want to do partisan politics, you may not be able to build a good reputation in your community, because you have to take sides. I am not a registered member of any political party, and that is deliberate, because I want to be there for all. If you belong to a particular political party, that difference, there's nothing you can do about it. I belong to Party A or I belong to Party B. And I want to be a bridge for Party A and Party B to interact. That's what I do for my community.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, sir. Now, you've had a long life so far. God keep you for much longer. But you've also had a lot of achievements over the period of your life. So if you were asked to pick what your number one achievement is, or personally, what would you say? I know it may be quite a difficult choice, but what would you pick as one achievement that you're most proud of?
Well, I know that type of question, sometimes people try to shy away from it. But the first thing we do is to give thanks to God that we're still alive. I'm glad I built a career in my place of work. And I'm glad I also built a family for myself. And today, I remain a community leader and live a simple life.
Okay, now on the opposite end of that, do you have any regrets?
People have asked me this question a few times, and I keep telling them I don't have any regrets in life. Because first, I'm alive. I don't have problems with anybody. I have no battle to fight with anybody. But my regret is for my country. I'd rather say it's regrettable that a country I live in, a country I was born when things were so good, the economy was fantastic. Today, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know where we're heading to. And I don't want to talk much about that.
Okay, sir. So, if you could go back, I know this isn't possible, but if you could go back, say, 40 years, would you do anything differently?
What I've done now?
Yes, anything different.
I doubt it.
Okay, sir. So, what do you do to relax?
To relax, I meet with my friends. Because it is very important. And I get in touch with my classmates. And I listen to news because I want to know what is happening in my backyard. And I read a lot. That is the essence of being a graduate of political science and international relations.
Who are some of your favorite authors?
Chinua Achebe, Oleshenka, the man died in him who keeps mute in the face of tyranny.
Okay, now, just to round up now, because we've covered about everything, but for young Nigerians who are listening to you right now, what piece of advice, it doesn't have to be just one, as many as you can give out, what advice do you have for young Nigerians who are listening to you right now, and to the listeners generally?
To the youth, it's very important. We always say tomorrow belongs to the youth, but it's not for free. Youths are agents of change. But in order to achieve that, youths they can help us in economic development, social development, and even to sustain the democracy. But number one, you must have a desire. Number two, you must have the determination to pursue that desire. Number three, you must be disciplined. If not, you achieve nothing. The 3 F's. Oh, sorry, the 3 D's. Desire, determination, discipline. Some of the problems we are passing through today is nothing but gross indiscipline. I don't want to mention, you know. Gross indiscipline. Fight corruption, corruption is fighting back too. But the youth, we expect that the future is for them. When they come, a generation must go for the youth to come in. They will be able to effect some of the changes that is expected of them because they are tagged agent of change. They must shy away from money grabbing attitude, because that is the problem. You want to get rich quickly. Nobody even knows how you got the money, and nobody cares. Focus on what you want. Do it with discipline, so that end result would make everyone happy.
Thank you very much, sir. You've given us 3 Fs and 3 Ds. Just to round that up, can you give us what the 3 Fs and 3 Ds are again for people who would...
Very important in life. The 3 Fs. Faith. Friends. Family. You need these things, especially after you retire. For the youth, it's the 3 Ds. Desire, determination, and discipline. Without discipline, the first 2 Ds are of no use.
Thank you very much, sir. I've had with me in the house on the profile this morning, Mr. Solomon Nmadu Sule, a retired Director of Administration, High Court of Justice, Minna. Thank you so much once again for joining us on the show today.
It is my pleasure.
Yes. This, of course, is the profile reaching you from the On the Dial of Champions 92.3 Search FM, reaching you from the MBB House on the Gidankwano campus of the Federal University of Technology, Minna. Of course, as always, we have learned quite a bit from our guest on the show today. The 3 Fs and the 3 Ds are principles that you should apply in your life as the time is appropriate to do that. Also, if you are someone who would like to be on the profile, or you know someone who should be on the profile, whose experiences we can learn from as a people, you can send us an SMS with the details on 0806 655 6359. I'll take that again, 0806 655 6359. Just give us the details, and we'll reach out to firm up all what the next steps are. Thank you so much for joining us on the profile today. My name is Odaba Akoji. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and for now, it's goodbye.
Search TV.
Subscribe to Search TV on YouTube. Search for Search TV and click the subscribe button.